So, I've been asked a couple of questions about who exactly is it, Arcus Aim? Who are they in my new book, Eve? Arcus Aim is an organisation otherwise known as the Might, and they are a more or less constant presence in the book, and I've very much enjoyed drawing some propaganda posters for them, which I have here. And Virago very kindly made them into postcards for me. Some of you will have got a set of these with your gift wrapped editions at Christmas. So I hope you're enjoying them. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about them now. I suppose in my mind they're a kind of it's kind of national service by stealth or something like that. So in the universe of Eve, there's a very confused political atmosphere, a little bit like the one that most of us are living through now. And there's very high unemployment. The economy is tanking. People seem to be completely unable to stop arguing with each other about trivial things while the world burns around them. And really what the government in the Eve universe wants to do is to keep the young people busy. And as things stands, they're not busy, you know, as Brenda Si's mum says, the cemetery is full of young people who've been killed by, you know, drug misuse, suicide, you know, joyriding, ill health, general kind of stuff that, you know, violence, that the kind of stuff that kills young people and mostly young men. And so the government uses that as an excuse to bring in this organisation that it calls Arcus Aim. The aim is, you know, a kind of idea of, you know, to keep people busy, to give them some kind of an aim in life. And a lot of people sign up for it because, you know, they are persuaded by the advertising for the group. They're persuaded by their peers, and they're persuaded by the fact that they actually feel like they haven't got much hope elsewhere. And these cards, which are the posters that appear in the book, which are supposed to be kind of might recruitment posters, they're very minimal, I think you'll notice. I was sort of thinking about the way memes work when I was thinking about what kind of poster would you have on the wall of a chip shop, or, you know, the wall of the library or whatever. So, and I wanted them to be extremely minimal and just have this little logo at the bottom which says Arcus Aim, and it's in the shape of a bow and arrow. Obviously, a lot of far-right groups use the idea of a new dawn. They use the idea of the colour, golden dawn, for example. They use the idea of, you know, a new beginning for people. And so that's why this card says a new dawning. This one says, if the cap fits. Like a lot of the writing in Eve, there's a double meaning. There's, you know, it could mean one thing, it could mean another thing, or sometimes it's that I've got my tongue in my cheek and I'm thinking about how the truth is misrepresented right now, how people's positions are misrepresented right now, just because people like to have an argument, you know. And I just really like the fact that all of the Arcus Aim groups, the Might groups, they all wear these blue caps with a little logo on the front. That's the only piece of uniform that they get. Everything else they have to kind of put together themselves, because there isn't actually any money for this initiative. Nobody cares enough about the youths for that, you know. Yeah, if the cap fits, wear it. It's a very old saying. And this card here, this is about, it says the past is another country. I'm not sure if you can read that there. And it's got this storm cloud again, which is a very kind of popular piece of iconography for far-right groups. The storm is coming, yeah. And the past is another country is again a sort of a twist on the idea of the future, you know, of futurism, because I feel that one significant twist of contemporary ideology is the idea that we can somehow sever the past. It's another country entirely. We can just do away with everything that we thought was real and true and right, and just embark as though we're not attached, through bonds to one another, through bonds to the past. This one's actually based on propaganda from the Stalin era of communism, and also from the Nazi era, sort of during the war. And the similarities are really striking of those two periods. If you've not looked into that, then you definitely should. Again, there's this idea of fathers, the fatherland, children, investing in our children, and the idea of tomorrow, which in this case will take care of itself, because if you remember, we can just sever ourselves from the past. We don't need to worry about the possibility of climate change. We don't need to worry about the possibility of civil war breaking out because people hate each other so much, even though that has happened very many times in very many countries. And here we've got something which I really feel is a feature of a lot of cults, which is that they want to keep people busy. Don't be aimless. So obviously, again, it's a play on words with the idea of Arcus Aim. We've got the sort of bow and arrow thing here. We've got a target, have an aim, don't rest, you know, no rest for the wicked. The devil makes work for idle hands, all of those kind of sayings that we have. But a lot of the kind of cults that pop up in America especially, the main feature of them is that people are just too busy to think. And here we have, this is my favourite, this is know your place. Again, a play on words, because in British society we're too used to tugging our forelocks. It's a very, very long-held tradition to imagine that people who are perceived as being above us somehow in the hierarchy, the aristocracy, for example, the public school educated, those who speak with BBC received pronunciation accents, we're very used to thinking of them as being somehow more capable and intelligent. As a country, you know, this is not to say that there aren't individuals who can see through that, but I think as a habit, as a kind of national habit, we can see by the kind of people that we constantly put into power in government, that silly old toffs, in the words of Billy Connolly, you know, they are in charge, and they will remain in charge until we get rid of them. But of course, the other interesting thing about this map here is that it's based on what will happen when through coastal erosion, through rising sea levels. As you can see, it is recognisably a map of the British Isles, and yet at the same time it's not. We can see here that Scotland is almost cut off from the rest of this island, which I'm sure they'd be absolutely thrilled about. If I can manage to make it over that little border quickly before it separates, I definitely will do. And you can see that Ireland has kind of almost disappeared into the sea. Same with Cornwall. And this is a projection that I've found on the Friends of the Earth website. You can go and check that out for yourself. So we're back to card 1, A New Dawning. Let's hope that we have a different kind of dawning this year, and let's hope that we're all looking at a clearer future, a better future than the one that I predict in Eve. So thanks for listening.